When you spend enough time around TF2 cheating culture, you start to recognize a type of pattern and a type of individual. Not just the abuse, rage cheater, not just the bot hoster or the account that live of winning public games. I mean the kind of person who treats disruption like a personality. The kind of person who is not satisfied with cheating in a match because the match is the only first place they get to feel control. And that's where the story of the person I will speak about starts. The person I will speak about is a person named Horhay, and in the TF2 sphere he is quite known, at least on the bad side of TF2, which is the cheating side. He appears publicly in a video where he framed himself as a bot hoster, which is quite sad to see in the first place. But as I said, he belonged to that bad side. So he belonged to that side who is worshipping disruption, attention, and maybe making the public space worse for everyone else. So you would probably think that at first that's just, another TF2 random cheater and with a bad reputation. But the story don't stop here. It would have been ugly, but familiar. TF2 has had too many of those already, and the reason this video exists is not because that person is just a cheater or a bad hoster. The reason that video exists is to bring awareness toward people, is to make sure that people stay cautious about what they do online, to stay cautious about how they behave with other people on internet, in games, and to not be too fooled by an act of kindness, I would say, even if it's not one. So from now on, I will just go through a series of screenshots to just show you what I got. Honestly, it makes me want to puke. It's disgusting, and I just hate every second of having to watch that, having to read and go through all of that. Anyway, let's get right into it. The first person I'm about to introduce to you is not something as big as the other. That one is it's more here because it just show how it tests boundaries. It just asks for the profile picture of someone and he say he want it. And out of nowhere that profile picture that the person have and that the boyfriend of that person made for her turn him on. And it's just gross, honestly. But besides the fact that it's gross, the problem is what the line does. It also changed like the emotional structure of the conversation. It forced the exchange to revolve around discomfort that the other person did not create. When the person come back to just question if it was a joke or not, I really like just say no. And it clear out of any like mind, I would say that it removed like the excuse of like it will be a joke or stuff like that. No, in just a few messages, the conversation moved from being ordinary and casual to sexual and explicitly serious. That's the first screenshot of the whole story. So I guess you can somewhat predict where it goes, right? And how people would react. If it was just a screenshot, it's enough to make people feel uncomfortable, but it would just be contextless. Some accusations will come out of nowhere and who would be just random. Um, the issue is there is more to that. Let me introduce you a collage of screenshot I got, and that one is absolutely ugly. So you don't just have sexual remark anymore into it. You have multiple lines pushing into the same direction. He want to be the daddy. He says that the person is such a sexy 14 years old. Or right next to that, you like he say like, oh, I thought you meant my age was 18. Like it's just disturbing. Okay, it's also become much harder to not incriminate him for child abuse. But maybe like with all of that, you would say, oh, okay, maybe with all of that, it's a bit weird and is not that bad. The issue is one of the screenshots of the college also says that he got um, some CP footage on his laptop and that he didn't get out of his way to get it. It's just very, very disturbing to have that and to also say that on the internet. If you do that about kids, you just deserve to be in jail, okay? Making that video is just extremely disturbing for me, okay? Because the problem is not that it's simply some vulgarity. The problem is a continuation of screenshots that appears that shows sexualized interactions continuing after the age is disclosed, after he knows that the person is a fucking kid, but yet it just keep going and again, like what the fuck? It's fucking bullshit, honestly. It just makes me feel sorry for the victim. It makes me feel sorry for any person who got implicated with that. And the worst part is like when you listen to his interview, it doesn't seem to be quite sad or disappointed. Like it seems to be as if he did nothing wrong, and that's just fucked up, honestly. Then we have the screenshot where it just sent a gift to with sexual content first, and then with also like questioning like who is a good victim. Like up until that point, the screenshots already suggest an imbalance in array mindset, I would say. They already suggest that the conversations is being pushed onto terms that one person is choosing and the other person does not. They already suggest a form of pressure and manipulation towards the victim. And that screenshot just makes the hierarchy explicit. It's not neutral language. It's not like some normal flirt or anything like that. It's not just some edgy phrasing also. It assigns a role to the person. It places one person above the other. And that's why I think that image is also so important. It does not simply make the material uglier, it makes the structure underneath the material more clear. So earlier sexual pressure we saw with that video start feeling random, and the escalation stop also feeling random. Then we have that fun screenshots. So it reveals that the other half of the same pattern. Like he says that he need a cute boy like the victim that he asks them if they want to be more than friends. Like on their own, those lines could be dismissed are quite like pathetic or cringy or like some ERP, but by this point in the story, nothing exists on its own anymore. Once you place them next to each other and next to the earlier DMs in the college, they stop looking harmless. They start looking like a strategy, a manipulation, and yeah, a very like manipulative behavior toward younger people and a younger audience. And that also like why the profile screenshot is important at my eyes. Like I do not want to over focus on it, but like he says that oh if you need a hug or like it's just edgy and some self-pity fused together, some menace and like rudeness presented as the same personality, and the profile, even if it's just fucked up, okay? Like it's just very very fucked up. And what's interesting is like because his profile is in friend only, you have to go on Steam history to get access to the next few screenshots. But when you go on it and you track back to the beginning of March, you see that he got doxxed. Obviously, doxing people is something illegal and you should not do that. But what it teaches is the fact that Horhay got into jail for CP content on his computer. He got arrested for CP abuse and CP content. So overall, I feel like the story is ending on a good point. And that's really why I wanted to make that video. Because I want to bring attention to that type of people and I want to bring them to light so other people will stay cautious about what they're doing. They will stay cautious about that type of persona and that type of behavior and interactions. So I hope you guys will stay careful about that and about the type of people you meet on internet. Usually if someone is too nice for you or toward you for nothing, it just means that there is something fishy. It's just like free items, okay? Most of the time it will be fishy, so please be careful, especially if you are at a younger age. Be careful about what you're doing on internet. Be careful about like who you talk to on internet. And for the people who are older, please, like the victim could be like your little brother or sister or your friend or your nephew or someone related to your family, okay? And a creep like that guy could go and do some shit to them. Just please be careful about it and be careful about your family. Thank you. Anyway, it was Malatos. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.